Hello out there, everybody. Manny here at Area 503. And I hope you all have been well since our last video. Today I just want to talk with you guys about some interesting UFO sightings from around the world. Let's start off in the Netherlands, where on May 25th, a Dutch UFO reporting site received over 150 reports of a string of UFOs streaking across the night sky. These things were actually caught on film. Let's take a look at them here and see what they look like. Here they come. Wow, check that out. Those things are crazy looking. But I gotta tell you, the second I saw this, I had a gut feeling I knew what it was. But you can definitely see why people reported this sighting, because it's just so unusual. It didn't take me long to discover that these things were actually not UFOs, but these were the first 60 satellites in SpaceX's Starlink constellation. I spoke about the Starlink constellation in episode 33, so if you didn't get a chance to see that, go back and check it out and it'll tell you more about the project. But these satellites are the first 60 of 12,000 satellites that will form a global permanent constellation, bringing high-speed internet to a majority of the world. Now, to get a chance to witness these satellites in deployment is quite amazing, I think. And as we have 11,940 more to go, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot more of these sightings. So keep your eyes to the sky and your cell phone or camera handy, because you never know what you might see. Let's move on to our next sighting, which takes us to sunny Phoenix, Arizona. On April 27th, a diamond energy type of UFO was filmed over the city in the daytime. Now, this is an extremely strange sighting in my opinion. My first thought was that because of the way that this thing appeared to be getting pushed around by the wind, it resembled a group of metallic balloons that were reflecting light. But the more I look at this thing, it really doesn't seem to resemble a shape of balloons. And this UFO is extremely reflective, almost to the point of generating its own light, so I just don't think that's it. Whatever this UFO is, it appears to be at an extremely high altitude, and I just don't know what to make of this thing. It could very well be one of those energy type of UFOs seen in the daytime. It really is hard to tell, so for now I'm going to leave this one as unidentified, and I'm going to add it to my files. And we will move on to our next sighting, which took place on May 20th over 29 Palms, California. Check this footage out. The person filming this footage did a great job of getting into place and chasing this thing down to try to figure out what it was. And it's clear from the footage that the person filming is a passenger in the car, so they're being safe. Don't worry.
What is this thing in the sky?
This long UFO appears to be drifting in the wind as if anchored. And it's highly reflective, to the point that I don't think it is reflective. I think it's generating its own light source. And it seems like one of the witnesses agrees with me.
It's very hard to judge in my video.
Check this thing out. What the hell is that? I've looked at thousands of UFO sightings in the last few years, and I have never seen anything like that before.
It's segmented. Weird, like there's nothing between us, not like there's a...
So the witness states that there is nothing between them and the UFO, and that the UFO appears segmented, and that when he zooms up on it, you can see a rippling effect that looks like shadows around the light. It also appears that the object is anchored to the ground, maybe on a tether, but what is it? Why would it be flying at night? It really is a bizarre sight, but my gut is telling me that this is something man-made. I just want to know what it is. The witnesses state that there's an airport nearby, so I find it suspicious that any unidentified flying object would be allowed. But after looking at this thing, I'm at a loss to explain what it is, and if any of you guys know what it is, please tell me in the comments below. I'd really like to know. Our next sighting takes us to Mexico, where a UFO was spotted flying past the Popocatépetl volcano, just outside of Mexico City. Check out this cigar-shaped UFO filmed flying past in a horizontal flight path. Now this thing comes whizzing by and flies behind the volcano at a high rate of speed. Popocatépetl volcano is no stranger to UFOs. In fact, there have been several sightings in the last few years. So I'm not surprised to see more activity in the area. I'll be adding this one to the UFO files as well, and I will follow up with it later. Our next sighting takes place on May 30th over the skies of Louisiana, where an orb-type UFO was filmed in the sky. Now, this UFO appears to kind of bob and weave to the side. It's dancing around almost as if it knows that it's being filmed, and it's toying with the witness. And I have seen this kind of behavior with other energy and orb UFOs before. It's almost like a characteristic of this type of sighting. Another good catch, and this is a fine example of a random sighting proving that you never know when these things are going to appear, so keep your cameras handy, like I said before. Check out this other orb UFO. It looks just like the first one, but then boom, something happens and you see smaller UFOs break off and fall below. These splitting UFOs are extremely rare, but another one was captured several years ago at the SETI Ranch. Check out this video. Back in 2001, this footage was shot showing a similar UFO that split apart and seemed to reform in mid-flight. So once again, it appears to me that these UFOs have been around for quite some time. The only question left to me is, when will the so-called mainstream media admit what most of us believe to be true? Alien life exists, and that they are visiting us, and probably have been for a long time. To answer that question, I'll give you a quote from Paul Hellyer, who is a longtime Canadian politician and was the defense minister in the late 1960s.
Well, there will never be anything big enough for the media to report because the media is compromised. It is totally corrupt.
I don't think I could have said it any better than Paul did. Well guys, for now, that's all I have on the recent UFO sightings from around the world. As always, this has been Manny at Area 503, and I wish you all the best until we meet again. And I am out of here to continue my search for universal truth.